Hey little ones, for your English task today you're going to be planning your story for Where the Wild Things Are. Tomorrow we're going to be writing our story. Today we're just planning, so I don't want full, lovely, amazing sentences. All I want is perhaps one sentence for each part of your plan, okay? For one smiley face, it's your job to sequence the actual pictures that are in the stories. Put the pictures into the right order. For two smiley faces, it's your job to sequence the pictures first and then to write captions next to your pictures. For three smiley faces, it's your job to use your memory to write me where the wild things are in a plan and in sequence. So you could use bullet points or you could use numbers, it's up to you. Okay? Remember, when you're writing this plan today, you need to really think about your vocabulary. That's your learning intention for today. It's a focus on your vocabulary. So as well as using core language from the text, for example, wild thing is a core word. So is Max. Max is a core word. I also want you to be using fantastic words, like amazing, imaginative, adventurous vocabulary. So get out your thesaurus and get brainstorming some amazing vocabulary. Okay, I'm going to talk you through my story map just to freshen up your memories a little bit. So, Where the Wild Things Are. The story starts with a little boy, and he's a mischievous, cheeky little boy, and he puts on his wolf suit one day to get up to mischief of all different kinds. So one thing he does is he turns his duvet into a tent and puts a nail into his wall. Naughty. The second thing he does is he chases his poor little doggy with a fork in his hand, and his mum gets really cross with him for creating all kinds of mischief. So she sends him up to his bed and she says, "Get up to bed, you wild thing," and he says, "I'll eat you up." So he doesn't get any dinner that night. Naughty Max. And while he's alone in his bedroom, a forest starts to grow, and it grows and it grows and it grows until his trees are nice and tall and there's big long grass and his ceiling hangs with vines. And then a boat arrives and it's got his name on it. And so he goes sailing in the boat, and he sails for days and weeks and months and for nearly over a year until he arrives at the place where the wild things are. And when he gets out of his boat, all the wild things, they roar and they gnash their terrible teeth and they show him their terrible claws, and they've got these big yellow scary eyes. And Max isn't very afraid, and he tames them with his magic trick. And he says, "Be still," and they're all tamed, and then they all make him king of all of the wild things, which is pretty cool. And then he starts his wild rumpus with all the wild things, and they howl up at the moon, and they swing on vines, and he rides on their backs and does all kinds of crazy things during his wild rumpus. But then after a little while, he gets a little bit bored and he feels a little bit lonely, and he starts dreaming of delicious yummy foods from far away back home, and he starts, I think, thinking about his mummy, and he starts getting a little bit homesick. So he leaves the wild things, and they're all like, "Don't go, Max, we love you so, please don't leave us." But he leaves anyway, and he gets on his boat and he sails back for days and weeks and months and through nearly over a year into the night, where he arrives back in his room, and waiting for him on his table is his dinner. And luckily for Max, it's still hot.